The 1951 film, The Thing from Another World, is what created arguably one of the greatest movies of all time. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I hope you guys are having a great day. Today we are going to talk about The Thing from Another World, the 1951 film. This was such a cool thing. Before I watched this, it's on Tubi. Go watch it on Tubi. I did not know this was even a movie. I actually saw it while I was on Tubi, and I was like, whoa, what's this? I actually thought it was like a remake or a sequel to John Carpenter's The Thing, but I realized, wow, it's not. I actually started doing a little research, and during like the 80s there was like a big boom of a lot of remakes from like the 1950s. We had like The Blob, we had Invasions of the Body Snatcher. I know that's from the 70s, but still, like, they did that. And then we had The Thing, which is arguably one of the greatest movies of all time from John Carpenter. And I wanted to watch this one and see the differences. There is a few difference of this one. The biggest difference is The Thing is different from John Carpenter's The Thing. I actually want to make a video talking about the difference of both of the movies. I think it'll be really fun. But this movie, we're just going to review it and talk about it. First thing I gotta say is I really like this movie. It's really fun. I'm a big fan of the black and white film, and during the 50s there was a big boom of the sci-fi thing, and I'm going to dive into a little bit more of sci-fi movies throughout the channel. I don't know how much, but I'm going to dive into it. I'm going to dive into more of the black and white films because I am a big fan of that stuff. I'm going to talk about modern movies too. I just want to talk about just movies in general. That's what this channel is about. So we're going to get into this one. So with The Thing from Another World, it takes place in the Arctic, just like the John Carpenter's one. There is the bigger difference is this is more of a bigger military group. There's more characters in this one compared to the 1981 film, but we're not going to try and compare it anymore. I'm just going to talk about this film like I already said. But you have this group of soldiers out there, and they all, well, get told about this crash. And the best part of this whole scene, I have two favorite scenes of this whole movie, but the first one is when they go to the crash, they find the crash and they bring the dogs over to carry the thing out of the ice. But when they get there, they move in a circle around it to figure out the length of the spaceship.
Try to figure out the shape of this thing. Here's the tool, sir.
And they talk about what could be in there, and you have characters. You actually have a woman in this one compared to you have it in the newer one, but the woman actually has a relationship with the main character, the general of this, which is a really cool little dynamic. It's actually kind of fun because the way that she like teases him and leads him along is a really fun little aspect of this one. And the creature, the thing in this one, is like a plant monster, which is really, really cool. It's a different way to look at it. Anyway, so the soldiers grab the thing from the ice and drag it back, and they leave it in a frozen room, and they crack open the window of the Arctic to keep the thing frozen, because they were like, well, we should just, because we don't know what to do with it. And so they have a man watch it and keep post. But of course, one guy, because there's an electric blanket in there, he throws it over the frozen block of ice of the thing in there, which I just think was probably the dumbest thing ever. And it melts the ice. And then the thing breaks out of there, and he starts firing at it and runs out of the room. And then all the soldiers go in there, and they actually see the thing in the distance fighting the dogs. And he kills, I think it was 3 of the dogs, but the thing loses its arm through the whole process. And they only could find 2 of the dogs. One of the dogs is gone. So then they start talking about what to do. And then they all leave and look for it, but they can't find it. I really like the dynamic of this. I like the setting of this. I like the self-isolation, just like the John Carpenter's one. I like self-isolation horror novels and horror films because it's more of the, like, you know what's gonna be there, you know this creature, but you don't know how to defeat it. And it's scary, and then the feel of panic in this is really good. The dynamic of this one is really fun too, is because you have a scientist and then you have the general. The scientist wants to keep the thing alive, and he's like, General, you need to talk to the rest of the army and see what they want to do. And of course, the army wants to keep it alive. They want to test and do things to it. And that's what the scientist wants to do. And you find out the scientist is actually doing more than you didn't expect, what you expected him to do, because clearly he wants the thing to live. And they go into the greenhouse room, and the scientist finds something there. Everyone else doesn't find anything, but they barricaded the room and they wanted to trap the thing in there because they noticed things in there that thing was in there. And the scientist grabs plants from there. And he shows people that the plants are parts of the thing and they're growing. And he's like, we can make more of them. And of course, that's a fear of like, well, we can't kill this one. This is going to make it so they're going to take over the world. Like, these things are so powerful, they're going to take over the world. Like, a gun cannot kill them. And what happens is the thing is in the greenhouse and he just like ravages and kills a bunch of people besides the scientists. So they're all arguing over how to defeat this thing. My favorite part of this whole movie is when everyone is in like this office and they're trying to set up a trap to fight the thing and they're going to use fire. I was like, well, yeah, it's a good idea. I mean, you might as well try it because clearly bullets don't work. So honestly, I think this is my favorite part of the whole scene is when they all are like in this area. It's like the bunk room, and the guy puts the girl in the corner. He puts like his mattress up in front of her. He's like, you're gonna need this. The thing breaks through the door. The lights are all off. It's so cool. And they just start whipping gas cans at it and they light the thing on fire. It's such a cool scene. And the reason why I like it so much, yes, we've seen it plenty of times in newer movies. Like Nightmare on Elm Street, you see Freddy Krueger runs around on fire for like a solid minute. You see those scenes from the 80s. But this is during the 50s, early 50s. And the reason why I keep saying it is just because technology and everything just wasn't really there. But I love how much they push the limits of this. And when the thing is in there, they are whipping fire at it, burning him alive, which is so cool. It was just such a cool scene. And he's just throwing people all the way, and the thing jumps through the window because it's gonna die if it doesn't.
Line, the needles hit the top.
And what happens is, I like this element of the thing because it is intelligent. It cuts off their source of energy, so they are going to get freezed out. And what happens is they go to the main generator room, all the survivors do, and they set up a trap where they're going to use electrocute the floor of the path where the thing is on. During this time, they have it all set up, and of course the scientist is like, oh, we can't do this, and he shuts off the generator when the thing is right there at the door. The thing slowly walks to him. They're trying to keep it away because clearly they're trying to lure it to be on his path to kill it. And they go back, and of course they turn the power back on. They get the scientist away from it. And the thing is like staring at them, and the scientist like runs past the soldiers and tries to communicate with the thing, because the whole point of it is he believes we can communicate with the thing and learn from it. So he's sitting there begging it, talking to it. The thing just like slaps him across the face, kind of like the Batman meme where he's like, no, this, or whatever. So he slaps him. The scientist is flung across the seat. He just lays there. I assume he's dead. And what happens is they're like, he's not on the metal part. He's not on the ramp, so we can't kill him. So one guy has like a pickaxe and just yeets it at the thing, and the thing leaps onto the pad, and he like holds like a club in his hand, and that's where they pull the lever and they electrocute and kill the thing. And I really like this movie. I think the movie is awesome. First, I had no idea, because sometimes I watch the 1950 films. It takes me a minute to really just warm up to it. But I really did enjoy this film, and I really like the ending of how this movie ends, is because you have a news report throughout the whole film, and he gets signal, and he does a nice long monologue about the thing from another world. And it's so beautiful. I'm going to play at the end of this video so you guys can all watch it. But I really like this movie. I love the aesthetic. I love the setting. I love everything about it. And I like how they don't show you exactly what the thing looks like, but the shadowy figure of it looks like Frankenstein. I kind of like that design. And I actually learned this is a book, so I kind of want to read the book eventually too. I definitely could see aspects. Now, the John Carpenter's thing and this thing are really close to being the same, except the difference is well, the thing. But like I said, I want to do a video in the future talking about the differences and the sames, and like what John Carpenter kept in his version versus like this one. But I love the element of this, and I like how at the end the general ends up it's not official, but he kind of does end up just accepting to just settle down with the girl in this. Sorry, I'm not very good with names. I had a list of all their names, but it deleted, so there's that. Sorry. But I really do like this movie. If I I gave it a rating of, I think it was a 4.5 out of 5. I think it was a really fun movie. I prefer the John Carpenter's more, but I do like this. It was a lot more fun than I thought, and just the way it's just filmed is just so awesome. I really do appreciate the 1950s, just the way that they're like, you know what, we're gonna really up the ante for these kind of films, especially during the 50s. Like, this was a huge thing, and the way that they pushed things for the sci-fi genre was just awesome. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of sci-fi movies in general, but the way that they just pushed the envelope in this was just so good, and I really do like this movie. Have you guys seen The Thing from Another World? I'd love to know down below. If you have seen it, let me know. If you haven't seen it, let me know. Have you thought about watching it, or do you think this one's better than John Carpenter's The Thing, or do you disagree with that? I would love to know. I don't think it is. I think John Carpenter's The Thing is better. The practical effects is just better. That's just the thing about it. But I do like both these movies. These are really fun. I'm actually looking forward. I'm going to rewatch John Carpenter's The Thing, and I'll make a video about this later. Probably at the end of the month, I'll probably make a video about it. I think it'll be really fun. But in general, though, I love both these movies. I think it was a blast watching this. Last but not least, make sure you guys stay safe.